are beginning our yoga program at home for not creating pressure in through the face, the jaw, or the head, and using all the poses that will help us safely move. So begin down on your backs. Now, I just have to do a little disclaimer. I don't have any cameramen here. Wish I did. And so some of the poses, you won't see my whole body. You'll miss the top part because I want to get nice and close so you can see the position of the limbs. So let's begin right down on your back and just take the arms overhead. Get a good reach through the fingertips to start to feel the entire back of the body in contact with the floor, the spine. And just reach through the fingers, stretch the fingers, and open up underneath the armpits. Now take a deep in-breath. Exhale, and then hug the knees in wide. And feel the press down into the core. We always start our yoga practice with any kind of forward bend or a fold that you're stretching in through the low back. Now we're going to do a little rock side to side. Keep the bend of the elbows pulling the knees in so your shoulders are back, chest is open. And then roll on over to the right side and draw up to seated position. Take the legs in a small bend in front so you're not going to be too close. And then take the body over, get in between the legs and get over yourself. Get over yourself. And just hold on to the feet. Now you're going to hook the backs of the arms onto the shins and reach forward so that you've got the chin reaching out and you're coming up from the low back. And you're using the pressure of the backs of the arms as leverage. Reaching forward. And then you can drop your chin and drop your head and round the spine. So we get to round the spine with a little less weight on the head than we would in downward dog or forward bend or anything like that. So here you're rounding. Now actually really round, so like so. Press the elbows into the shins, round back into the low back so that you hollow out the core. And you'll also notice that the chin tucks a little, just a little, and then tuck it a little bit more, stretching in through the back of the neck. Keep the breathing constant as you cat round and you open up into the vertebrae, right in through the middle back and low back, probably if that area is tight. And then breathe in, gaze up. You're going to actually gaze straight ahead, so there's not too much of a lift of the head. Now the back flattens and you want to reach the chest out so that you're lengthening through the ribs, up and forward. That's a big inhale. And then you exhale round again, coming into the low back. And throughout the video, if you find a great pose that feels wonderful, pause the video, and just repeat and repeat until you feel like, yep, I got what I needed there. And then the next in-breath, you come up, gaze ahead, keep pressing the shins into the shins with the forearms, and then round, come on, around again. And one last time, you breathe, gaze ahead, press the shins, press into the shins, and then round. Great. And then you can turn this right into leg extension, so you're going to come into forward fold. So from here, if you can just pull the bum bones back, that helps you to get right into the tip of the hips, so you're right on the front. You can have the balls of the feet together, the toes draw back. You're really attempting to lift from the low back, so you're not sitting back on the hips if you can. Sometimes you got to use your fingers, and that's okay. You know, it helps you to get that lift from here. And keep from sticking out the chest. You want to keep the ribs pulling up, so you're like, it's a feeling like you're pulling your shirt up over your head, and right away you'll start to get that activation right of these muscles right here, rector spinae, along the spine. And then you do your fold forward. Now, you can either round the spine, which is here, like come down and fold from the belly. It's just stronger if you lift up, because you will lift from that lower back area. So see if you can do that. And you can take your hands right onto your waist and just be like a superhero. And just press the elbows back, lift from the rib cage and extend forward. And then take the hands where you land. And if you can keep the breathing constant, you'll help the muscles to keep releasing. And in and out through the nose is the breathing. And just try to feel happy and smart. You took this time to get on the mat and to lengthen and to breathe and to start to get mobility in the low back. And then you can come back up and you're lifting. Good. And now we'll take the knees to the chest. We're going to roll this down. So it's nice to hold on to the backs of the legs like so, and then roll down like so, because you'll get more and more of the vertebrae expanding in the back. Plunk back, take the knees in as we were, let the elbows bend to the side, and then let the left leg straighten. Now, hug that right knee in towards the outside, towards the right shoulder, and then come on into circles, and just make sure it's your right leg. So we always start with the right leg first, and that helps to squeeze right in through the ascending colon. And then we do left, that does descending colon, and you're moving everything in through the core. Many of the asanas are fantastic for digestion, and we'll come up to one in a second, that is. So you pull that knee in. Now just use your left hand, twist to the left. Take the right arm out to the side, gaze to the right, feel the side body open, and keep that knee coming across. And then you can reach that right arm up on the diagonal. So I'm coming up here, and you gaze towards that palm. Keep the breathing in and out through the nose. And on the exhale, you can pull the rib cage in and up. And instead of it being like a sucking in, it's a lengthening up of the ribs. You pull them up, 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 like you're pulling your shirt up over your head, feeling, and the skin. And that helps to open the side waist. And then you can breathe in and come on back up. And I'll just check my cheat sheets here. So, yeah. Then from there, you can gently release the right leg down. Let's come to the other side, hugging that left leg in. So remember, when you're on your mat, it's a laboratory. You want to enter this laboratory. Think of only staying in the breath. So see if you can leave anything that might have been on your mind when you got here off the mat, because it will come up when you start to breathe. So see if you can stay with the breathing. Hug that knee in, circle it around, and keep the elbows bending so the shoulders are back. Breath, come in both directions. And you're keeping the weight of the head back completely, feeling the body in contact with the ground. And then taking another in-breath. Exhale, twist to the right, draw that left arm out, and here you go, that you're going to really draw the left shoulder down. Really pull that right knee over. So here we are, really aiding digestion when you do twists. Forward bends and twists, basically. And remember, knees to chest is a form of forward bend. So anything that you're folding forward or drawing the legs in. And breath. Just do any little finagling you need to do to feel yourself get more in contact with the ground. And the breathing is steady. And you might get little cracks and crunches as parts let go. And it's like you're turning into your own little adjuster. And it's a fantastic way to passively stretch. And then you draw that left leg in. Give one more good squeeze. Release the leg down. And then come on into a way of doing a forward bend without, again, keeping the head too low. Pull the right leg in, and you can flare the toes as much as you can to stretch the fascia in the feet. And pull that foot. Remember, if the hamstring's really tight, you might bend a lot in here to help the insertion. And that'll help to just, get a little further range in the bum. Either way, draw the leg down towards the right shoulder. Draw the toes back so you reach the heel up to the ceiling. And make sure that the back is back, so you're not doing this. You're not pulling the shoulders forward. And keep the breathing. Now that left foot on the floor, actively reach that heel out. And as you stay with the breath, notice that you're reaching the heel and you're attempting to drop the thigh into the socket. So you're attempting to pull down there. And that helps to really release the quad, the thigh, the top, which can really grab. until we increase mobility there. And then you can gently, check my notes, release that leg down, yes. And then coming up, bring that left heel up again, flare the toes if you can. Draw the leg towards you, reach that right heel out. And yet more than anything, remember that yoga's breathing. The breathing is the fan, it's like the wind in the sail. And you want to really let that breath move through you constantly. Because as soon as the muscles feel the tension, they actually contract. Yet, if you do a long, steady inhale, exhale, that contraction won't occur because it'll trick the muscles in a good way into letting go because they'll think, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's when we pause the breath that the body contracts and protects itself, braces. It's a very primal reaction. So notice that each side could be very, very different. We are very bilateral. We tend to use one side more, and that develops different mobility and flexibility. So appreciate that your body's showing you where the tension is. And again, if the knee needs to bend in order to help that hamstring, then just do that. Really work with the day and what the muscles give you. And then you release that leg. Okay, this is kind of a neat way to do a triangle without needing to have balance or move the head low. You take the right leg, and I'm going to really take my time to show you what I mean here. It's you're doing like a half lotus. So you're going to bring the ankle up and make sure it's okay. And you might take the foot to the top of the thigh. Now, many people can take the heel even higher. I'm going to show you the full version. You're going to take the foot towards the waist, hold on with the opposite hand, and then let that knee come out as much as you can with no sensation on the knee. That's nasty. And send the knee out. So I'm going to go out like this. You might be here with the foot down, sending the knee out. The key is to stretch in through this right thigh, right on the inner thigh. And then you're going to take the right arm up and over, really reach, and lift the upper body. Bend over to the left, and you're stretching out of that right waist and get a really good reach. Keep sending that right knee away. Keep lengthening off of that right side. Make sure the shoulders are back so the neck is long. Reach that right arm over. I've got the hand off the floor because I'm finding I can get the arm over a little more, but feel free to drop it back. I'm just finding it's nice to reach out and get over a little to the left more. And then you breathe in, lift the head, lift the body. Come on over to the right. Gently, gently, you might even use this right hand to help the right knee back up. Hug in, and then come across like so. So you're going to press that right foot down, hold on to the outside of the knee, and just pull up. So you're pressing on the inside arch. You're going to get a little bit of a different outside stretch, and stretch the arm up overhead. The palm is up. So here it is. And hope I'm on camera, back this way. Need those cameramen. And you get that reach right out. And one more deep breath to lengthen. And then you can come on back. Good, now hug that knee in, give a couple circles. And other direction. And then you can release that right leg down. Okay, here we go with the left. So just get kind of even, get the bum even on each side. Take that left leg up. Lift the head, usually you need to get the foot. Use your opposite right hand, grab. Take the knee out as much as you can. Take the heel up as much as you can. Hold on with that right hand. Send the knee away, lengthening right in through the top of that left thigh. The body is back. Lift the left arm up. Come on over to the right and lengthen out of that left side and stay with your breathing. Feel how you can lengthen from here. Feel the weight of the head back. And again, the arm can be off the floor, the hand rather, as you're reaching out, the arm will be up off the floor. And you're bending over as much as you can to the right so you can get out and off of that left hip. Getting a really nice full breath to expand the waist. That in and out breath helps to stretch the side waist muscles. And breath. Really good. and then release. Come on back, and then hug that left knee in. Come on into circles. And other direction. Great. And then you can release that left leg down. Okay, lovely. So next we're going to stretch into the sacral area. You're going to take the right foot up, you can point, and then take the left foot up. Now you're going to cross the ankles over and then grab on either over like this, because it's just easier to get the feet. I've got short legs, so it's easy to get them. And you're going to cross over like so. So ankles are coming over, and personally I do it this way. I find I want to cup under because I can grab there, and then I pull in, and you tuck the chin. Now you can be on top with the hands because that can be an easier grab, or that way as I'm doing, and you pull in and just tuck the chin to get into the sacral area. And you're crossing the ankles over more and more so that you can really round into the low back. And then you gently let the head down. Keep pulling a little more, so you keep stretching through the sacral area and the outside hips. And then you recross. So left ankle on top, lift the upper body, grab either over, under, and then pull the ankles. Let the elbows bend, tuck the chin, looking down. You look down, that directs the spine. And then you let the upper body down. And again, keep the breathing in and out through the nose, constant. Bending the elbows to the outside. Keep the breathing. Breath, breath. And then you can gently release the legs down. What do we have next? Okay, so we have, in this one, we're going to roll over and come on up to, we're going to do this. Stretch the arms overhead. I see now, I'm a lefty, so my writing's horrible. Take that arms overhead. Now the feet are wide, outside edge of the mat. Bend the knees over to the left and stretch out through the fingertips. And now with that top right knee, really press it away. And sometimes you can use that left ankle, take it on top of the right knee to stretch more in through the side here, iliotibial band, and also the side waist. And then just lift the head, bend over to the left, and stretch off of that right hip. So here we go, side stretch again, get a really good reach out of that side of the body. We're going into toning and lengthening in through the side waist muscles, external obliques, and you keep the breathing. Really nice reach of the palm. Okay, come on back up. Uncross the left ankle if it's crossed. Rotate back to the center, feet wide. Bend to the right. Lift the head. Bend to the right. Get that left arm back. Breathe open the left side. Keep breathing in and out through the nose so you get that left rib cage expanding. Feel the reach over with that left arm. Maybe that right ankle comes on top of the left knee, remember that? So just notice if that helps you to get the knee down and it doesn't hurt. In through the kneecap, the patella. Keep the breathing full. Breath. And then return to your center. Just uncross the leg and then you can roll over to your right side. Now, the next pose that we're going to do is the cat-cow pose. And I want you to really notice as you lift the head, if you feel a bit wonky, dizzy, because you might want to modify it. So I'll show you how to modify. Cat-cow is done. It's so simple, but yet there's a lot to look at here. You have the hands right under the shoulders, so they're not further forward like child's pose. They're right under, and that means that you're stacked. And then the knees are directly under the hips. They're hip width apart, they're not together. Feet you're on the top of. Now make sure that the elbows are soft, especially us women, because we have a different radial ulna, a different connection here on the inside of the elbow. And you want to just make sure the eyes of the elbows, that's it, eye of the elbow, is turned in so you're not locked out. So fingers face forward. And you're in tabletop position. Look ahead, let the shoulders slide down, in breath. And then exhale and round. You could keep the head like this, or if it's okay, you could drop the head, lengthening through the back of the neck, and then breathing in, gaze ahead. Let the bum bones really tip up. You really arc the back. So you're pulling the inner thighs back. And then you exhale and round. Hollow out the core and feel like you're pressing your shoulders, your palms rather, through the mat. And then breathe in, gaze ahead. Breath. And exhale and round. Good, and one more. Breathing in, gaze ahead. And as always, feel free to pause the video if you love this and you need to stay a bit longer. And continue to do your flexion and extension of the spine. Okay, the next thing we'll do is take the hands over to the left together. Step the right foot forward. And then taking the hands on the inside of the right foot, inside of the right foot. Look ahead. You could tuck the toes under to get a little further stretch in through the quad. Lift from the rib cage, pulling up, so you pull right up from the core. Shoulder blades are down. So always notice when you're using your arms, attempt to press into the palms, pull up. Now we're going to turn to your right. Press into that left palm, open the chest, and push into the earth to rotate you. Keep this front right knee facing forward though, so you're not going to turn it out. And you keep the chest, you keep the breath, you keep opening. And then you're going to take that right hand down, straighten the front leg, hands on either side, point the toes, and then stretch over the inside of that leg. So you're going to reach forward with the rib cage. Stay with your breathing, the toes point. Breath. Lengthen out. And if you need to keep the head higher, you're here. Okay, so just notice if you feel safer to be here than to come down. Pardon me, I went right into habit and pulled down. So just see if you want to really reach out from there. Now then, and this is where I'll probably go off camera, you're going to turn to your left. So goodbye to my head. Get a lift, press the foot down to your anchor in there, and then lift that left arm up and out and lengthen right off the left waist. Get a really good extension out. And you can keep pressing that foot and lengthening through the leg. And then you can come down and then return back to the front. Take that right leg back. Take the hands over to the right. Step the left leg forward. Hands on the inside of the left foot. Point the back toes, actually tuck them under rather. Lift from the rib cage. Gazing up, shoulders are down so the back is flat. Keep the breathing constant. Lift, pulling up. Then return to your left, press into that right hand. Keep the chin in slightly, by the way, so you're not doing this. Looking up, you want to keep the neck long. You push into the ground. Make sure this left knee doesn't fan out so you don't dunk. But keep lifted through the rib cage, keeping the breathing full. Breath, breath. And then you can take the hand on the outside, point the toes with the back, extend over that left foot. You're coming onto the inside thigh. And again, if you need to keep the head high, because you do, because you just had dental work, or again, detached retina or retinal latticing, that you just know that you've got to watch that there's no pressure, because sometimes when you bring the head lower there will be. And then we lift, and here we go. I'll be off camera. You're going to take that left foot out, take an in-breath, come up, lengthen. Oops, I'm going to show you from the side. You're going to take that left leg out, lengthen, feel yourself lift up and out, fountain off this side. So it's like you're stretching the skin from here over, and you keep the breath really full. And then you come back, and you take the arms down. Good. And now from here, we're going to take the hands back, and you'll probably come back about 8 to 10 inches. You're going to press into the fingertips, lift the rib cage. So here we're getting a nice opening, but we don't have to worry about balance. And you're getting the lift of the rib cage. Feel as if somebody has fish hooked your chest bone right here, or bra strap, and you're pulling up and you're lifting. I'm using the fingertips. You could be right on the palms, because you can. So see what is good. And if it's nasty on the knees, if it's way too much for the shins, take the legs forward and come up like this. So just listening. to the legs, the knees. Okay, and then from there, we are coming into spinal twist. So you are kneeling and you're going to bring the knees over to your left. So bringing the bum down to that side, take the top right leg over and then pull the heel in as tight as you can. Get a lift of the rib cage like so, and you're going to turn to your right. Take this arm, right arm back. Take the hand behind. I'll rotate to show you. You're going to take that hand really snug in, and that way you can push up right from the low back. And you keep the rise. This right arm, if you can get it quite low, I've got the crux of the elbow now hugging the leg in. That turns your body more, and it opens your back more. But just make sure you can feel both sides of your bum down. If you're up on the right side, it's okay, but just see if you can drop as much as you can there. And you keep the breath and you lift. So you're not like this. You're not sitting back, but you're propping up with that palm. And then you can gently release. Okay, great. Now I'll just show you from the front again. You're going to turn onto the outside edge of this top foot, this right foot, and then extend forward. So you want to lift forward from the waist, and from the side, you're folding out so that you get a really good extension forward like so. And you lengthen through the back of the head, so you look straight ahead instead of lifting. Make sure you're really out there. And breath. And then you can breathe in, come on back up. And then from here, we're going to switch the knees to the other side. So you were over to the left, come on over to the right. Coming over, cross that top ankle over. Do see if you can get it pretty high. And then hugging the leg in. Take that right arm around. Again, get as low as you can so you can pull that shoulder over. Lift the right arm. Take that hand really close behind. Prop up. Feel yourself lift from the bottom of the spine. Keeping your breathing constant. Do any little wiggling you need to do to help you get into the posture. Breath. Breath. And then you can rotate back to the front. And here we go. You're going to come on the outside edge of this foot. Prop out. Feel yourself really reach forward from the sternum. Lifting out. Shoulders are free. Again, attempt to have both sides of the bum down if you can. And getting the breathing. And breath. And then you can come back up. Good, and we've twisted. So now you're going to uncross that leg. Check my cheat sheets here. The next we're going to do is, we're going to come right into dead bug pose. So that sounds aggressive. Just pull your pants up. We're going to come right into core work. And this is an exercise that's actually out of Ontario University. It's proven to show to really work the stabilizing, the most functional muscles of the core. So we take the arms off, up to the ceiling, and we take the shoulder blades off. That helps to flatten the back and the top. Then you take the knees and you draw them right over the hips. Now the neck, make sure it's free. So when you pull the shoulder blades up, don't do this. Like pull up, but pull towards the ceiling. So you're pulling the shoulder blades off the floor. Okay, now from there, flatten the back. So draw the core in and just take your left hand, turn the palm down, and just see if you can get under there. And you want to see that you can't. Okay, so you want to have that flattened back because normally you'll have an arc there unless you work the core. And now you're going to do this. I'll slowly show you. I like to do this really slowly. Just come down, touch. You could go quicker, but I find to keep the other side pressed down, I like to do a micro, slow move, but keep the breathing steady. And you're going to go up and down with each foot and bringing the knee back to the hip. And this is what I mean. The knee is just above the hip. So what we're not doing is this. We're not pulling it in further because that would shorten the core. but you want to keep the core long. That's why it's so brilliant for working the whole line of the abdominal muscles. So you come down and you touch. Keep that going with your own rhythm and keep the back flat as you can, and the shoulder blades off the floor. Now the breathing constant. Remember to breathe, especially here, because you can get a lot of tension while you're tightening, but you want to not get tense in the neck or the shoulders. Keep that area relaxed, and it's a real art to keep that upper body relaxed while you're contracting fully the lower body. And if you can go further, keep going. And you could pause the video here. Now, that's a really good amount of repetitions. Now we're going to change this up, and we're going to take the hands right alongside the body. Kiss the knees together. Hug in tight now, so that knees, heels together. And then you're going to touch the toes down, and then pull the knees towards you. So it's a reverse crunch. You're pulling the knees towards you. Come up, and then touch down. A little bit speedier. Up, and touch down. There is a swinginess to it. Up. So you exhale here as you lift. Exhale. Breathe in, down. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, lift. Coming down. Try to relax the face so you can just enjoy this a bit more. Pulling the knees in. Keep the upper body relaxed. Keeping the shoulders pressed back. Stay with the breath. 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 Keeping the knees together. Breath. Shoulders back. Breath. Breath. Good. Another 4. Exhaling. Breathing down. Keep the shoulders back. It's really tricky to do that. I find they always want to come forward when you're lifting. Exhale up. Come back down. Exhale up. Okay, really good. Now you can roll to your left side, and we'll come right up into side plank. So we'll come on onto the right elbow, and you're going to take the leg straight out, and you can either have the top leg reaching in front, because that will just give you a little longer, wider base of support. That'll be easier for balance. The underside elbow comes directly under the shoulder. You can get fancy. Take the hand out, and you're going to lift, and if there's the potential, you can stack so that you're having one leg on top of the other. Otherwise, as I mentioned, do this and use the leg. But lift the underside waist, feel really big, and have the shoulder blade back. You could even then maybe take the arm over in line with the ear, get a really wonderful side waist stretch, and then you can take that arm back and then come down. And we'll do that again. In breath up, lift, open, extend the arm over, breath, draw the arm back up, lift that underside waist the whole time with the breathing, and then come on back down. And here we go, other side. So come on over, just roll over to your left side or turn like I did so you can see the camera, and then press, or the video, and you're gonna have that elbow under so you're stacked. Lift the underside waist, leg on top if you need to. In breath, come up, open the chest. Be happy, you're in the air. Keep the top right shoulder back. The chin, remember not to lift it too far so that you're not extending the neck too much. And breath, get really high. Breathe in and over with the arm, get lengthened out from the side waist. Keep the breathing. And then bring that arm back up. Open the chest. Really lift. One more time with the arm. Reach over, come back, lift that underside waist, and then you can come down. Fantastic. Now from here, just check my notes here. We're going to come into, yes, we'll come in right into all fours position. Take the palms forward and walk the knees back so that you can extend. And here is where you would keep the head up. And if you have like a bolster, or if you have a couple of head pillows, and I'll just demonstrate that you would keep the head high and you'd still get the advantage of the length. It's just that you'd get the wonderful support. Make sure that whatever you use is on the forehead so you can breathe, and the arms come forward, and then you just exhale back with the high head so that you're not bringing the head below. the waist, and you keep that elongation in your spine. And breath. Pull that tailbone back, especially on the exhale. The palms are way out there to lengthen underneath the arms. And breath. Very nice. And then you can come on slowly back up. Okay, lovely. Now, from here, just come on back onto your back and draw the knees into the chest. Bring the legs up in the air, holding on to the low legs, potentially the feet. Do a little rock, side to side. Breath. And then you can gently release and come down. And lengthen the legs right into Shavasana, lying relaxation, and let your whole body go. So there you are, you've done your practice, and this is your chance to let everything gel in the body. You just let go and feel all of the effects in your body. And feel really good that you took this time. And enjoy the rest of your day.